Welcome back. Today is the last working day of Raghuram Rajan, the iconic Reserve Bank governor who chased down inflation, arm-twisted banks to come clean on bad loans and enjoyed a cult status at home and abroad. As the Rajan era comes to an end, CNBC TV 18 looks at his legacies.
I think he created an impact. He's leaving a good legacy behind.
As India bids adieu to Rajan, the 23rd governor can have the satisfaction of leaving behind some strong legacies. The most important one is convincing the government to give the RBI an inflation target of 4% plus minus 2%. The results have been convincing. Inflation has fallen from an average 10% in the 3 years prior to Rajan to an average 5 to 6% in the past 2 years. Besides, he has succeeded in shifting focus to the correct measure of inflation, which is consumer price instead of wholesale price, which is a long-term positive for policy making. Finally, the government is all set to appoint a monetary policy committee of 3 economists for a 4-year non-renewable term, which can ensure more independence to policy making. These may well be Rajan's permanent institutional contributions to India.
Rajan is, before I talk negatively about central bankers, but he's at least one who understands the problems. He's probably the best central banker in the world at the present time.
As a banking regulator, Rajan showed rare courage. He forced banks to come clean on bad loans that earned him much criticism and enemies in corporate India.
My name is Raghuram Rajan and I do what I do.
But as he leaves, Rajan can have the satisfaction that a large part of the poison is recognized. He has given many tools to banks to put back broken companies back on track or sell them off, though very few have worked. However, Rajan's contribution here is to ensure that bankers have begun to arm to his debtors and not the other way round. A third contribution of Rajan is giving over 20 banking licenses and putting the process of licenses on tap rather than once a decade as it used to be. Along with a unified payments interface, phone banks, Jan Dhan, banking and payment became much more inclusive under Rajan.
On the reform side, financial inclusion, I think it's an unfinished agenda. We need to do a lot.
In the past week, Rajan has hastily moved steps to force out a bond market by seeking to let RBI accept corporate bonds as collateral in its repo transactions. He has also mandated that companies with over 250 billion rupees of loans have to henceforth borrow from the bond markets and not banks. Both moves are fledglings and may be big items in the next governor's agenda. In Mumbai, Ritu Singh.
And stay tuned to CNBC TV 18, a special show taking a look at the legacy that Rajan leaves behind and the responsibilities that now lie ahead for the new governor, Urjit Patel, coming up at 8:30 p.m.